It's a sub-liter class, or thinking that it's a half recat twin, as I said at the beginning of the video. It's not a half recat twin, it's a full recat twin. I'll say one thing, to buy a bigger bike for this kind of a use. So I'll say that having a bigger thing is good, but it all matters about your skills, about your stamina, and the posture you have, and the passion for it. By the way, I'm still talking about motorcycles, okay? We have an open road. Let's give it a try. What's up YouTube? Look what we have today, the new Honda Transalp 750. What a motorcycle this is. It's almost a week I'm riding this motorcycle, and I have to say that I've fallen in love with this motorcycle. I know that you're gonna tag me as a Honda lover or a Honda fanboy after this video, or probably before this video, but I have to tell you that I didn't had any expectation out of this motorcycle, because I have ridden the NX 500 some time ago, and I had that kind of an expectation before riding this motorcycle. I thought it's a bigger version of NX, or some people call it as the half recat twin. That means the half Africa twin. I'll say that this is not a half recat twin, this is a full recat twin. I mean, it's been a week. I see this motorcycle as an all-rounder motorcycle. This has a different flavor in it. It's not an Africa twin, and it's not an NX 500. 100% it's not an NX 500. So, and it makes a lot of sense for Indian riders as well. Yes, I know that I have to take off my Honda fanboy cap before starting this video, but still I'm telling you that I'm not reviewing this motorcycle as a Honda fanboy. Let's get into the video. So first of all, the looks. I have to say that I really didn't like the looks, because I'm not a fan of the older version of the Honda Transalp, like how it looks in the screen. It's a purpose-built motorcycle, and in a way, in the looks, I'll say that compared to the Africa Twin, this has no bells and whistles or no aesthetics to get a crowd pulling and all. It comes with that headlight we have seen with the Hornet or the CB500 and all, and there's a little taller windscreen. And coming here, this is the white color variant. So this motorcycle comes in two color variants, one a matte black and the white color. And this white color is actually surprisingly very bright white color. Even if you park it in a parking lot which is dark, this white will be like too shiny, and the Transalp written over there. So Honda has been maintaining this for the past 20-30 years. So this is not at all a motorcycle which has been made to appeal people who love looking at the motorcycle. So probably you are someone who actually likes the looks of it, because it's too minimal. I'm like too much onto that Africa Twin kind of a mindset that okay, Africa Twin looks so good. Looking onto this, I feel that okay, looking wise it's not so great, but it's a neutral looking motorcycle. It doesn't look so bad, and in my eyes actually I'll say that it looks a little better than the NX 500. And you can see a big crash bar over there, which actually overlaps the Transalp. Otherwise it will look a little more better. And it has the bash plate. The bash plate is there because the oil sump is in a very vulnerable position. Of course, this is an off-road going motorcycle, so it's a little vulnerable position. You look at that belly pan, it's such a huge thing. It's like almost this Transalp is wearing a big chaddi or a diaper, and we can see that it's a 21-inch wheel in the front and an 18-inch in the back. Unfortunately, this is not coming with tubeless tires. This comes with tube tires, so puncture is a problem. And here the 750cc parallel twin, man, what an engine. 270-degree crank, and this was the thing which was powering the Hornet 750 in international market. That's one reason Hornet 750 owners are badass in international market. I've seen all Hornet owners like ripping on the streets, doing wheelies and all sort of brainless things on the road. And now I ride this motorcycle, and I can feel that this is an altogether genre of engineering, because as I said, it's unlike the NX and the Africa Twin. But more onto the Africa Twin. This has a lot of rumbleness. It gives a good feel that it is a raging bull or a raging aggressive dog. That kind of a feel is coming out of this motorcycle. And we can see a normal standard exhaust system which sounds really good, and there is 750 written over there, and that 3 symbol is like the Alpine, the mountain. And looking from the rear section, it looks a little similar to the Africa Twin. Here we get a big top rack setup. You can have the plate over here and have your luggage tied over there, and that's all. Looking around, it's a basic motorcycle, and the seat is actually coming from the Africa Twin. It's almost similar, and surprisingly it's an 855mm seat height, and this is an 830mm lowered seat height variant. And when we sit on the motorcycle, it actually lowers a little more because the rear suspension is soft, and a person like me who is actually 5'6" can comfortably sit on this motorcycle, comfortably ride around. And also it's a very lightweight motorcycle with a lower center of gravity, so I feel the concentration of the weight is always here. So when I stand on the foot peg, or if I have to push this motorcycle out of my parking lot, or if it's a gravel road and I have to push it off, either you can sit on the motorcycle and do that. If you are taller than me, if you are like me, even shorter than me, just take it in the hand, keep pushing the motorcycle. It's very easy to push the motorcycle when it is turned off. It's around roughly 200 to 210 kg wet weight, but still it's a very comfortable motorcycle to hang around with. And also feedback about the headlight, it's not good. So let's see the console. Before that, this foot peg actually feels a little shorter. Probably an aftermarket variant will fix that issue. And also this comes with a quick shifter as an add-on. You add 25k to this motorcycle, you'll be able to get an up and down quick shifter from Honda. By the way, it's a ride-by-wire throttle. So get on the motorcycle and you see almost flat foot on both sides. So comfortable because the seat actually tapers and we get a comfortable feel. The mirrors are actually good, and when we turn on the dash actually looks good, even though it's a 5-inch TFT display. And let's walk you through the switches first. So this is the high beam and the low beam switch, and this is the mode selection. So this comes with couple of riding modes and a user defined mode, and this is a function button, and this is the joystick setup, horn and indicator, which is completely flipped. If you're not a Honda owner, it will take some days to get used to the system. And here we have the caution lamp, and on this side we have just the start switch. That's all. The good part about this motorcycle is, yes, as I mentioned, this has riding modes. So it is sport, standard, rain, a gravel mode, and a user mode. You can adjust the power, engine braking, 3 settings, traction control, 5 settings, and you can turn it off as well. ABS, you can turn it off in the front wheel. That's one downside. And here we can see the gear position indicator, and it packs a lot of information. Okay, I don't want to walk you through each and everything on this motorcycle. A bit tachometer, you can change the layout of this motorcycle as well, and a speedometer, fuel level indicator, total kilometer, running mileage, average mileage of the trip, and the date, time, and all sort of things. So let me just fire this up. I have done a pure sound video. Hopefully the video is not, in that case you can check that as well. It feels so powerful. Actually, this is the kind of engine that we have seen with the Duke 790. So the Duke 790 also comes with a parallel twin 270-degree crank. So really wish all the motorcycle and the 2-cylinder comes with this 270-degree crank setup, because it sounds good, it rides good. So that's all from the outside of this motorcycle. Let's go out on the highway and I'll talk about more things about this motorcycle. Okay. Alright, we are on the highway. Let's pull it hard. I wish I had a little more longer road. If you are someone who already rides or experiences a middleweight 2-cylinder, you might have noticed something, that this is something unusual. Certainly something unusual, because the power, the torque, it's well predicted and it's very powerful for this middleweight. And the torque band is very nice. You get that really early in the RPMs, and the power actually takes you to the upper RPM, and there are no flat curves. It just goes like that from 0 speeds. Actually, it just blinks 20 kilometer and just reaches 100 kilometer per hour mark. And after that, I think in the 4th gear itself we'll be able to do 200 or close to 200. And as far as the technical specs goes, this does a top speed of 205 km per hour. I think I did something like 205 or 210 off the camera, and that was in the 5th gear. And the gearing is also something a little peculiar. The first 3 gears are shorter and later 3 are like longer gear ratios. So the 1st, 2nd and 3rd will take you up to that 180 mark in no time. That too very comfortably, very powerful, but it's unlike those mad Ducatis that you have seen. So the Ducati reference is because I already own a Ducati, and that's why I'm telling this. I own the 800cc Desert Sled Scrambler. So that has a lot of mad power and torque. and I get that kind of a vibe on this one on a very comfortable and a tame manner. So the engine is super smooth, no vibrations in the sense in the lower RPMs, but obviously when it goes to the higher RPM we get that a little vibey feel, but understandable. It's not an annoying vibration, but the power curve was too good. It's such a mad machine, a mad engine which is ready to do anything on the road. And being a sports motorcycle guy, I really love to see the CBR 750R in India, but the motorcycle is not there in the international market also. But there is something called as the Hornet 750. I think the owners will be enjoying too much on that motorcycle. So that's how the engine performs on the road. And when it comes to the off-road, it is equally good, because yesterday I was doing off-roading, and you have a lot of power, you have a lot of torque. Power slides come so easy, and the riding posture is also nice. I'm sitting upright. I mean, I'm talking about the road feel. I'm sitting upright. It's very comfortable, and when we stand on the foot peg, for my height, actually this thing comes rightly to my knee area. So controlling the motorcycle in the off-road is also good, because when you power slide, when you go left, you have to push it from the right, and that kind of a grip I'm getting on this motorcycle. Even though this motorcycle doesn't have a tank grip, I was comfortably able to grip the tank and do power slides. And coming onto the road, man, the road performance is so good. I use this motorcycle on highways, on off-roads, and in city traffic. So in city traffic I was running almost in the third gear all the time. I don't have to shift a lot. As I said, 1, 2, 3 is like shorter gearing, so you get it to the third gear. If it's going in 20 km speed, then just be in the third gear. You have ample amount of torque, just throttle it, and the bike actually gives you that kick. So this is in the sport mode, so the power is adjustable in 4 levels. And one thing I noticed on this motorcycle, especially in terms of the electronics, is that the electronics aids on this motorcycle is actually covering you a lot, like the Guardian Angel, and it is a little intrusive, because the traction control is too much intrusive on the basic settings. Even with one traction control, the control actually kicks in every now and then when I have to slow down on the hump, and even in the second gear, and when I throttle it, the ECU complains that, hey, you are having a rear wheel spin. Probably the motorcycle is actually very well powered and well torquey. That's the reason why we are having the tire slips. But this thing is a little intrusive if you are riding a little harder, because every now and then the traction control kicks in and you lose the power. And second thing is the ABS. The ABS is also a bit intrusive. It is actually affecting our braking as well, in the sense if you are actually going through a bad patch of road, then the front ABS actually kicks in very, very early, and the braking feedback is something different. So when it comes to the off-road, I liked it. I liked it the way how it braked. And when we are riding on the road until a speed of 160, I'm pretty confident to use this motorcycle's brakes. But when it goes a little more far, 180 or 200, then I'll say that the braking is not so good, because it feels a little spongy, and the suspension is also one prime reason for this entire lack of performance in the braking, because the suspension travel is more, and it's an non-adjustable suspension. So the suspension is having a lot of travel with a softer suspension setup. That means when I brake, it has a little bit of dive. So the first thing happens is it gets the grip on the disc, and then it starts diving, and after the dive we'll get the grip on the tire. So that's a bit of a lag. So combinedly, the suspension and the braking is not so good for high speeds. But if you are riding inside city under a speed of 150, I'm not talking about riding inside city at a speed of 150. I'm saying that if you are riding inside city, or you are doing 150 on the road, I mean on an open road, then you will be able to comfortably brake. But otherwise, then there's a little bit of confidence issue from the brake. And as I said, the suspension is onto a softer side. The rear one is preload adjustable. What are these guys doing? Are they racing? 3 autos. The rebound is a little higher than what I expected. I expect a little more feedback, a little more stiffness from the rear suspension. But otherwise, overall, it is good for the road use, and even for the off-roads. If you are doing trail riding, you'll be able to ride it. So when it comes to off-road, there are 2 options for that. Either you're going for a trail riding, or if you're going for pure off-road, just like how you take a dirt bike and riding it. So this is not a piece of thing to do a dirt bike kind of a thing. The engine is very capable. If Honda could come up with an MX bike with this, that'll be a killer. Definitely it'll be a killer. I'm pretty sure it'll do a wheelie and it'll kill the rider. So it's not going to happen. So it's not a fully off-road bike, but if you're doing trail riding, you'll enjoy a lot. If you ask me if there are any heating issues, actually there is a little bit of heating issue on this one. It's not too bad, but yes, if we are going in slow speeds, definitely you'll feel that. Then also to talk about the clutch feel and the gearbox, the clutch is ultimately light. Don't worry about it. You won't be having any kind of trouble using it. And the gearbox is super sleek. Just a typical Honda gearbox on the clutch system. we have an open road. Let's give it a try. See that the engine actually changes its character when it's pulled really hard, and tires are really good. I like it. This comes with Michelin Caro tires, which I'm testing it for the first time. I'm pretty happy with the stock tires. Wheel size is also good. You can do corners at a speed of 140, not an issue. And the riding is actually easy. It's not a big, tall, heavy motorcycle, so it's not at all an elephant or a mammoth motorcycle. So you can comfortably ride this motorcycle without being scared anywhere. So if it falls, yeah, it falls. It's around 200 plus kg motorcycle, but the center of gravity on the motorcycle is very low, so that I was very comfortable pushing this motorcycle in any terrain. Like, I got stuck yesterday in the mud. I just got out of the motorcycle, had a firm grip with my boots, and I was able to push it back. So it's that simple. And pushing in the parking lot, taking U-turns, everything is very nice and easy as expected from Honda. The handlebar width is good. It's not too wide or it's not short. And also this, as you see, this comes with a wind visor. So this thing is good. It is giving a wind protection till a speed of 90 to 100, which is very comfortable. Even I was cruising at 160 yesterday, so it's a piece of cake. If you're a shorter guy, you'll have a better air pocket. And about the ownership aspects of this motorcycle, this comes for 13.8 lakh rupees on road in Bangalore, which is a good price for this kind of a motorcycle, especially the kind of abilities this has. Also, I'm pretty sure this can comfortably cruise with liter class motorcycles. So I'll say that 13.8 is a justifiable price on this one. But when it comes to the accessories, it is a little higher, because you have to accessorize it up. As I said, you need a belly pan, center stand if you require, and auxiliary lights. And this comes with tubed tires. So if you have to convert it to a tubeless tire, then you have to go for the Africa Twin wheel setup, which will additionally cost you 1.5 lakh. So what I'll say is that it'll almost come to 16 or 16.5 lakh. And then to talk about the other service details, this motorcycle actually goes for service once in 12,000 kilometers, and it'll cost around 9k to 10k, and you can expect a mileage of 18 to 22 kilometer per liter based on your usage. And if you are riding very sanely on the highway, you'll probably get a 24 to 26 kilometer per liter as well on the highways. And the prime questions which I'll be getting after this review will be, is it comparable with an NX500? Definitely not, because this is a bigger one. Don't compare the price of an NX500 with this one. NX500 is different. This is a different animal, a beast by itself. And when compared to Africa Twin, some people have that thought that, okay, it's a sub-liter class motorcycle. Don't get shied away from this motorcycle saying that it's a sub-liter class, or thinking that it's a Africa Twin. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's not a Africa Twin, it's a full Africa Twin. I'll say one thing, that the power to weight ratio of Africa Twin is this, and the power to weight ratio of the Transalp is this. That means the power to weight ratio is more onto this. This has the 80% power of the Africa Twin with lesser weight. So there are different aspects of thinking to buy a bigger bike for this kind of a use. So I'll say that having a bigger thing is good, but it all matters about your skills, about your stamina, and the posture you have, and the passion for it. By the way, I'm still talking about motorcycles, okay? So that's my comparison about this motorcycle with Africa Twin. And finally, if you ask me if it's a beginner friendly motorcycle, that's kind of a controversy question. If you are upgrading from a 300cc, I'll say that the power is manageable, it's still very powerful, but it's a really nice upgrade to even for somebody who is actually living on a 650cc. So a very good all-rounder motorcycle, no doubt on that. So that's my review on the Transalp 750, and I hope this video is helpful for you. And certainly, if you like this video and if it has helped you in any manner, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Unfortunately, I don't have an open road today to show you the park. Never mind, we'll do it in the next video.